Talk about the very controversial family, mob family, apparently, allegedly, up in Buffalo, the Todaros. Joe Todaro Sr. He was born in 1923, died in 2012. He was known as Leadpipe, apparently, inside the mob. And outside the mob, to his customers, he had a pizza place in his family. He was called Papa Joe. The newspapers called him that, too. He was a prominent Buffalo businessman. The family remains a prominent family, business family in New York State. Uh, He allegedly, again, was the boss of the Buffalo crime family. The police claim that Todaro Sr. was a long-serving captain in the family, and him and his brother Richie controlled bookmaking, card and dice games, loan sharking, Las Vegas junkets, which are very, very profitable things to run, and labor operations, labor extortion in the area. The Todaros, father and son, senior and junior, operated La Nova Pizzeria in Buffalo. They founded it in 1957 in a tiny little shop, and it has since boomed to a multi-million-dollar business. They sell frozen chicken wings, pizzas, hot sauces. I think there are other stores, and I think the family is no longer directly related to the business. I could be wrong. Todaro Sr. was not a guy who played under the radar. He was loud, and he was big. In May of '67, he got arrested with 35 other guys for consorting with known criminals. The problem was, of course, they were all known criminals and were arrested for consorting with each other, which is kind of illegal. The court dismissed it. It's illegal to arrest them for that. It was just harassment, which I don't have a problem with. He also made it a big deal, Todaro Sr., to let the world know that he was good friends with the mayor of the city for the longest time. Todaro Jr. was accused of being involved in an unsuccessful plot to murder a hood named Faust Novino in 1976. Allegedly, the ambush was set up by Novito's longtime pal, Louis Pisa, P-I-S-A. He took Pisa with him to burglarize a warehouse on Buffalo's west side. When they got in, according to Novino now, Todaro Jr., John Sacco, Frank Billetieri, and Lenny Falzone were waiting for him. They were going to kill him in there. I don't know the reason. I'm sure they had some reason to want him dead. Taken by surprise, Novino pulls out a 45. He shot Sacco, and he fired another shot at Lenny Falzone, but he missed. He fired a third shot at Todaro and Billetieri, who were just inches away from him. Then he ran for it. As he ran for the door, Novino sees this guy Falzone coming at him again. So he runs up to Falzone, rams the 45 in his chest, pulls the trigger, the gun jammed and misfired. So finally, he ran, hit under a rolled up rug or something, and he managed to escape. On March the 13th, 1982, Todaro Sr. was involved in a brawl outside the Buffalo Playboy Club with his pal Danny Sansanisi. Apparently, somebody had attacked Sansanisi, the Sansanisi Jr., and Todaro jumped in to fight with his friend. In 1989, the FBI issued a statement in connection with a gambling investigation that identified Todaro Sr. and Jr. as leaders of the Buffalo Mafia. They said there were 45 made members in 1989, lots and lots of associates. They said the Todaros directly controlled labor racketeering, bookmarking, loan sharking, narcotics. Nothing came of that, by the way. In 1984, when the boss Sam, the farmer, Fran Guillamor, stepped down from leading the family, according to the FBI, again, Justice Department, Todaro Sr. took over and Jr. became his underboss. A year later, they were charged with tax evasion, and that went nowhere, too. That tax evasion, they were acquitted, and it seems like it was another harassment thing, which, again, I don't have a problem with keeping these guys on their toes. In 1989, the FBI issued an official statement that identified Todaros as leaders of the family. Uh, I guess they just wanted to bring the point home. They said that their, as I said before, that their loan sharking operation was run by Lenny Calzone, Lenny the Calzone Falzone, and their bookmaking was led by Victor and Daniel Stenesi. Falzone apparently ran their narcotics as well. As for Falzone's link to the Todaros, it should be pointed out that the FBI also bugged Falzone's union-owned car that he drove around in 1988. And after 2 years, they really weren't able to connect the Todaros to anything illegal. That illegal, to be clear, that Falzone was involved in. But still, Todaro Jr. served as a business manager for Local 210 of the remarkably astounding corrupt Laborers International Union of North America, Leona, L-I-U-N-A, Leona, before he resigned in 1990 because due to investigations with the local ties to organized crime. A 1996 report listed Todaro Sr. and Jr. as two of 24 alleged crime figures who were influencing the Laborers Union of North America since at least the 60s. In 1999, Todaro and 16 others were named in a civil racketeering lawsuit for controlling Local 210 through the years, from the 60s again, by various racketeering activities. In that complaint, Todaro Jr. was identified as was officially recognized by the U.S. government as underboss of the family to his father, of the crime family. Canada officially recognized him as underboss as well, the government of Canada. The complaint alleged that Jr. attempted to keep control of Local 210 with the help of Peter Geraci and Peter Capitano, both members of the local. The accusations were based on testimony of Richard Fino, a former business manager of Local 210, before he became an FBI informant. On September 6, 1993, Todaro Jr.'s son, Joseph Edward Todaro III, married Dana Christine Pentepinto, the daughter of Donald the Turtle Pentepinto. The turtle got that name, so the newspapers say, for allegedly enjoying the act of beating up his victims slowly. In late 1996, the LA underboss actually, Carmine Milano, he contacted Todaro Jr. about joining forces to take over a loan sharking racket and this auto insurance fraud thing in Las Vegas that was run by Herbie Blitzstein, a Chicago outfit associate who was on the outs at the time with Chicago. So Blitzstein was really operating on his own in Chicago. Blitzstein was murdered shortly after these two got together, and all his rackets were taken apart. In June of 2004, Todaro Sr. was a, quote, person of interest in the brutal unsolved 1965 murder of Charles Guras. He'd been shot left in a trunk of a car. The investigation didn't go anywhere. No charges were brought to Todaro or anybody else for that matter. It's unsolved. In 2006, Todaro Sr. retired, and again, this is according to the federal government. Todaro Jr. became boss with Lenny Falzone being his underboss. Although, again, the FBI informant Ronfino said that he believed that Falzone was acting as a front boss for the Todaros. And this is interesting. FBI wiretaps seem to indicate that Dominic Viola of the Hamilton, Canada Lupino family, very quiet mob, but dangerous mob family, big in narcotics, that he had been made underboss of the Buffalo crime family by Todaro Jr. in October 2017. There's a 2-year wiretap on this situation, revealed that the National Mafia Commission got involved with this because it was controversial. A guy from another family underbossing an American family. Todaro Sr. died on December 26, 2012, at the age of 89. He lived, remarkably, his entire life without being convicted of a felony. 4 years later, in 2016, Louis de Falzone died.